So the Game Awards nominees are in, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is up for Game of the Year, and this has brought with it a healthy amount of scrutiny for many reasons. So let's go through some of the mental gymnastics you might have done recently, starting with, this game isn't even out yet. People will be quick to point out that the game does have a release date for version 1.0, but that date is after the Game Awards, and also well before the cutoff for when games had to be out to be eligible for nomination. For example, Final Fantasy 15 is nominated for this year and not last year, even though it came out last year because of this cutoff date. So why is PUBG an exception? Well, it is out in early access and has been for much of the year and is the most popular thing since sexual assault in Hollywood. Is that too soon? Okay, and it doesn't matter. So PUBG was nominated based upon its unreleased state, and having an unreleased game be up for any award is insanity. But really, this was bound to happen. Episodic games first started to confuse things a few years back, and now we have things like Steam Greenlight and other early access avenues. It makes sense to be able to nominate a game when almost everyone can play a bunch of it, but what makes that any different from a long-form alpha or beta? I played a lot of Neo in 2016, probably close to 20 hours of it, but I never would have said it was in my list of favorite games of that year because it hadn't come out yet. And I even went out of my way in my list of favorites from that year to say that very thing. The situation with PUBG is different because you can play so much of it, but it feels so nebulous and I can't quite put my finger on why. And I think that's what's making a lot of people feel weird about it. A game you can purchase but isn't out is now out, for all intents and purposes. However, PUBG is constantly growing and changing, as are a lot of other games. What does that even mean for these awards? If this time next year, when PUBG has a bunch of new modes and maps, can it be up for Game of the Year again? Why not? If we aren't going to hold fast to release dates, then what's the point of these highly important awards? Is the rule that you can only be up for the Game of the Year award once? Who's even making these rules? The Oscars and the Emmys are dopey, but at least they don't have to deal with any of this nonsense. And because of games like PUBG, Hearthstone, Overwatch, Destiny 2, Grand Theft Auto Online, and many, many others, perhaps we actually should start making rules for this. All of these games I just listed either have been around for years or will be around for years. Games aren't statues or paintings anymore, they are living, breathing who's-a-whatsits. That's a word, now look it up. And the Game Awards have already thought about this. They have a best ongoing game category, and the nominees are Warframe, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Grand Theft Auto Online, Destiny 2, and what do we have here? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. To me, the idea of a best ongoing game category is to highlight something that is still going strong a year or so later, like I mentioned before, but PUBG is inexplicably up for that and Game of the Year. What about next year? Can it be best ongoing again? We need these rules. And I think the release date was a pretty damn good one. But do we pick the first available on the market date so that games like PUBG can be eligible for the award? And what does that do for an official release date? You can buy We Happy Few right now, but its official release is next year. If it comes out and blows everyone away, would it not be eligible because it was first available way before that? Maybe it's just when the game made the biggest splash, but that's also weird, and if PUBG or something else ever had a year two that was amazeballs, could it be up for Game of the Year more than once? I don't like where this is going. Now, I have no real idea what can be done about this, but for my personal awards, which are they're very important, I'll be picking games that came out this year only. But hold on, record scratch! Game of the Year is already a popularity contest, so it's really anything goes. I think PUBG being in this Game of the Year list is fine. I don't necessarily agree, but I'll live. But I'll be damned if PUBG or Destiny 2 or WoW or even the Shadow of the Colossus 17th remake is up for the award next year. I'm gonna be pissed. This is getting ridiculous. Here are the damn rules, Jeff Keighley. If it came out in 2017, it's up for the 2017 awards. If the year is 2018 and we still give a shit, best ongoing only. And while we're here, what the fuck is Destiny 2 doing in that category? It hasn't even been out for 2 months and it hasn't even had its first big expansion. Expansions. What do these have to do with any of this? Zelda has expansions, Horizon has expansions, Neo, plenty others. But what if the expansions came out the next year? What does that mean? And are these expansions included in consideration for the game of the year, or is it just the base game? Because they wouldn't be ongoing games, would they? Even though that's what DLC is, right? This is too much. I can't anymore. Make some damn rules. It's because it's popular, Delphox. Yes, it's because it's popular. Yeah, well, you can shove it right in your blue hole.